Have you ever looked at the world and thought, it's all been taken, everything's been monopolised, the money, the opportunities, the timing, everything? Well, that's a lie. In chapter 3 of The Certain Way, we take that whole worry, that whole idea apart and replace it piece by piece with something that actually works. Chapter 3, is opportunity monopolised? The best time to start is now. No matter your past circumstances, the certain way to get rich begins here. No one is kept poor because others have fenced off all the opportunities or monopolised all the wealth. Some types of work may seem out of reach, but new opportunities are always emerging. It would be difficult to become the owner of Google or Instagram today, as these businesses are well established, but artificial intelligence is still in its infancy, offering exciting opportunities, whether by building AI-driven solutions, applying AI to existing businesses, or creating entirely new industries with it. If you are an employee of a huge corporation, you have little chance of becoming the CEO. But if you start acting in a certain way, you can soon leave your current job for a better one that might lead to the top, or even to starting your own business. These days, thanks to the internet, the barriers to entry for entrepreneurs are lower than ever. Platforms like Etsy and PayHip make it easy to set up shop in very little time. While social media lets you promote your products and services directly to customers, and dipping your toe into entrepreneurship, perhaps by starting a side hustle, lets you test your ideas with minimal risk while building your confidence and skills. At different moments in time, opportunities can shift with people's changing needs and the tides of cultural transformation. Currently, the tide is moving towards new areas like AI, robotics, renewable energy, space exploration, and back on Earth, elder care, genetics, medicine, environmental concerns. Today, opportunity is wide open to all with little required upfront. There are opportunities for creators to reach their fans and audiences directly, and for businesses with products to promote to reach customers through online influencers. There is so much opportunity if you will go with the tide instead of trying to swim against it. You are not deprived of opportunity, nor are you trapped by the system. Your current circumstances are shaped by the way you've done things up until now. There is so much opportunity if you will go with the tide instead of trying to swim against it. You are not deprived of opportunity, and nor are you trapped by the system. Your current circumstances are shaped by the way you've done things up until now. But the moment you begin to act in a certain way, everything can change. When you begin to do things in a certain way, you begin to succeed and grow rich. The principles of wealth are the same for you as they are for all others. Learn this or choose to remain where you are. As long as you carry on doing the same thing day after day, you will not move forward. You are not held back by ignorance or your position in society. You can follow the tide of opportunity to riches, and this book will tell you how. No one is kept in poverty by a lack in the supply of riches. There is more than enough for all. The visible supply is practically inexhaustible, and the invisible supply really is inexhaustible. Everything you see on earth is made from one original substance, the formless stuff, from which all things are made. New things are constantly created as older things decay or are recycled, but everything seen and unseen comes from the same source, the limitless supply of the formless stuff. The universe is made from it, but not all of it was used up. The spaces in, through, and between the shapes and forms of the visible universe are permeated and filled with the formless stuff, which is the raw material of everything. When visible supplies run low, humanity innovates, developing new technologies, discovering alternative materials and finding creative ways to recycle what we already have. Much more than has ever been made can still be made, and even then, we won't run out of the supply of the universal raw material, the formless stuff. So no one is poor because nature is poor, or because there is not enough to go around. When the supply of building material is exhausted, new materials will be devised. Nature is an inexhaustible store of riches. The supply will never run short. The formless stuff is alive with creative energy and is constantly producing new things. Throughout history, when resources have dried up, humanity has discovered innovative ways to replenish or replace them, often inspired by nature's own cycles of renewal. When oil runs out, humanity will harness the sun, wind and fusion to meet its energy needs. If all the gold and silver on Earth runs out, and if we still need them, we will find new ways to extract them, perhaps even from asteroids, which are rich in precious metals and are waiting to be exploited. The formless stuff responds to the needs of mankind and won't let us be without the things that we require. This is true of mankind collectively, which as a whole is always abundantly rich. If individuals are poor, it's because they don't follow the certain way of doing things which makes individuals rich. The formless stuff is intelligent stuff that thinks. It's alive and brimming with a natural urge to grow, create and realize its potential. It's the way of intelligence to want to grow and of consciousness to extend its boundaries and find fuller expression. The universe of forms has been made by formless living stuff, turning itself into shapes and things in order to express itself more fully. Nature is the great living presence, always moving towards more life and fuller expression. Its deepest urge is for growth, and its driving force is the increase of life in all forms. Everything that can contribute to that increase is already provided for in abundance. There is no lack unless nature, infinite and self-consistent, were to contradict itself. But it does not. Wallace Wattles runs two lines of thought in parallel throughout this chapter and through his book. The first is statistical and practical, what we now call following the data. He advises us to look for what works, what sells, where the activity is. This is pragmatic advice. Go where the demand already exists and offer something of value. It's about probability, positioning yourself where success is statistically more likely. The second idea is more foundational and metaphysical, and in many ways it anticipates quantum theory. Wattles suggests that everything is ultimately made of the same fundamental substance or energy, and that it is nature, not blind chance, that brings form into being. But nature does use chance, variation, randomness, uncertainty, as part of its creative process. It's not mechanical, but it's not arbitrary either. We are co-creators with nature, able to bring new forms into the world through the clarity and consistency of our thought. I'm making these videos free for everyone, but honestly, go and buy the book. There are spaces down the side to add your notes, and I know you're going to want to. And you see things differently when you read the words. And as Wattles himself said, read the book again and again. And I know from my experience, each time I read this book, I just learn so much more and I see different things and understand much more. So you'll find links down below go and buy the book is your way to help me, help you, help yourself, and everyone else who watches these videos. Make sure you subscribe to the Certain Way Today YouTube channel. Go to my website, thecertainway.uk. You can subscribe for the newsletter there. And I'll see you again in chapter 3. Thanks for watching. You take care now. Bye-bye.